Good evening and welcome to the class of 2024. This is our Oak Park and River Forest High School New Husky Parent Night, and we are excited to have you this evening. We're in a different format because we're remote now, but we are very excited to be here. And this is one of my favorite events because we get a chance to say hi to our new Husky parents and to get you acclimated to the start of school. My name is Linda Parker, and I'm the Director of Student Services here at Oak Park and River Forest High School. And on behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Joylyn Pruitt Adams, and our associate superintendent, Greg Johnson, we say happy to have you and welcome to the Husky Pack. Tonight, we have the opportunity to talk about some of the resources that are going to be available on remote learning with our support services staff, and then also get an opportunity to spend some time with some of these staff members this evening. So, thank you so much for joining us, and let's get started. So, we always start with our philosophy that we want to keep the end in mind as we go through our high school experience. What is that end? What is our post-secondary success goals? We're looking forward to making sure that all of our students have a dynamic and supportive learning environment and that we are cultivating the knowledge, skills, and characters that we know it takes to strive in our environment. We are looking for excellence and equity for all of our students. And we want you to know that even though we're having somewhat of a different start, we are still on track to making sure that this is so for your students. In order to meet this end, we want to make sure that you have available to you the information that's necessary to keep this success in mind. One key thing to remember in terms of tracking student progress during this remote learning time is our Family Access website. We have through this a way for parents and students to be able to track their success and their progress as they go through their classes. So, grades, attendance, and homework status is available through this portal. Parents, we also want you to know that if ever you have to call your student in for an absence for the day during remote learning, you're going to do that through Family Access. So, having that log on is important. We also want to make sure that all of your emergency contact information is up to date. So if you notice on that site that we have anything incorrect, please reach out to our registrar in order to make those corrections and updates. We sent out our family access information to families way back in the winter around February. If you don't have that information or cannot recall receiving it, please make sure that you reach out to our family access email and let them know that you need your login and password, and they will make sure to correct that as soon as possible. We do want to make sure that you can access that at any time when you need it. There is also a Skyward app that is available for your mobile device if you are interested, and we always welcome our families to keep their family access on the go through that platform as well. I want to take some moments to introduce you to some very important people who work with your students very, very closely to making sure that they are supported through this academic journey called high school. Our PSS teams are our pupil support service teams, and students are grouped by these teams in our school. So each PSS team has three school counselors, one school social worker, one dean, and one assistant who work within a pod with one another. Our primary goal of our PSS teams is to provide consultation and support services for the students and using a wraparound service delivery system. So everyone has a different role, but we're all trying to make sure that we are supporting that young person. Each of our students has only one counselor, and then they, in that one team, they all share that same social worker, dean, and the assistant helps to serve all. We are aiming for all of our students and our parents to feel comfortable reaching out to our PSS teams. Throughout our school community, we are known as like the first line of connect when you have questions and concerns. And our counselors, social workers, deans, and assistants can help to make sure that we get all of your questions answered in a timely fashion. So, who are these individuals? The school counselor you have met on a couple of occasions now, if you've started with us back when you were in eighth grade. And our counselors are certified personnel within our school, and they're specially trained to help with different areas, including mental health and also academic, and then your career and college search. We focus on prevention and wellness in order to meet our students' needs, and we want to make sure that it's done in a well rounded manner so that we're looking at all aspects of the student and not just one. Counselors are excellent resources for the entire family, and we like to make sure that you know we do that. So, our counselors are with you throughout your entire high school experience, and we want to make sure that you see them as a resource. The relationship that is built between counselor and family is a very critical one and one we don't take lightly. So do know that all of our counselors consider it a very important to make connections with all of our families to keep students well-rounded and taken care of throughout the year. Our school social worker works with our entire school community as well on developing the social emotional needs for students. They maintain individual and group caseloads so students can receive services in both manners. And they're involved in school wide systemic programming regarding that social emotional learning. In this remote environment, that could take place virtually. It may also take place in person. And we want to make sure that students feel connected to the academic environment by making sure that their social emotional needs are taken care of. They do also provide crisis intervention and planning with families, and again, are connected throughout the high school tenure with your student and family. It is not a therapeutic relationship, but we do want to make sure that the students feel supported. And this is a person in our PSS teams who can make sure that is need is being met. The dean's role. So our deans are working to ensure that our learning environment is safe for all of our students, and they have a huge emphasis on restorative practices. With the developmental level of our students as adolescents, we know that there will be mistakes, and we want to be there to assist them in turning those around versus just thinking of any punitive action. So, our deans will be supporting and participating in positive behavioral interventions and also in this remote time with student engagement, trying to make sure that the students feel connected to the learning environment and also that they feel as though someone is watching out for them and can answer questions that they may have. The deans work as a collaborative team member to monitor attendance along with our other PSS members, with students and staff, parents, and then community resource agencies as well. It's very important that our deans know that when they reach out to our students, they too are forming relationships with the students and they're here to help. And so they maintain that relationship throughout the entire high school tenure. The assistants who work in each of the PSSs are there in order to assist the counselors, the social worker, and the dean in order to manage and organize the important documents that are necessary for student success. So they process a lot of the questions, paperwork, and different things that are important to making sure our students have things in order with their paperwork. They also are available to assist with managing work permits. And so, if that's something that a young person needs, then that would be the place to stop for that too with our assistant. Very critical role during this remote time because if you need questions answered fast, reaching out to the assistant might assist with getting that facilitated for you. Some additional support persons that you want to know of in our building, the prevention and wellness coordinator role. This is someone who's specially trained as a social worker and works specifically in the area of substance abuse and prevention and intervention within our school. We understand that there are a lot of things that are confronting our youth at this time, and we want to be there to support them. That is what this person does in that area of substance abuse. They're available to the entire school community and also work with some of our young people to help facilitate some group wide interventions throughout the building to help with our students' concerns in this area. They're involved, she's involved in a lot of school wide systemic programming about making healthy choices. And you will see information that comes through you while we're in this remote platform that addresses that from her. And then our post-secondary pathways coordinator she promotes career awareness and exploration and planning school-wide. So this is something that's important because where we always have an idea of where we think we want to go after high school, This coordinator can actually help to do some of that in-depth exploration and of those post-secondary options so that students and families know exactly what's out there and what's available to them. And so the goal again is to make sure that all students are reaching their post-secondary goals and aspirations and not any prescribed ones for any one person. So those are our team members that exist within our student services. And for the remainder of the evening, you're going to be meeting with your counselor and then some other individuals as well to hear more important information. Most importantly, details about the support that's going to be available during the remote environment. This is your chance to get questions answered. But I do want to leave you with this. We are very, very committed to that which is best, which is the motto of our school. And we want you to know that we are here to work with you to make sure that your student is developed in a way that you find most important. This can sometimes be scary as you're leaving your student at the high school door, especially when we're leaving it at a remote door. But what we want you to hear us say is your child will be, we build up resilience in all of our students, and your student will be just fine. And we're going to make sure that they find their way through this experience. And then once we're back into the doors of our school, into the experience at large. So we're excited to be here for you. We're excited to work with you. And thank you for joining us this evening. We will see more of you. Have a great evening.